Hello guys, I'm Daanvi and welcome to my YouTube channel Science Video, where I tell you the most interesting and fun-filled facts about science. So let's begin our video. I'm going to talk to you about vaccines today because they are very important all around us because of coronavirus pandemic. Before you want to know about vaccines, we need to learn about the immune system. How does it defend us against pathogens? The immune cells are constantly circulating throughout our body, and it monitors certain substances on the surface of cells called antigens. These are like identification cards to the cells. The antigens on healthy cells are different compared to the ones on diseased body cells or germs, or also known as foreign invaders. So whenever it ignores the antigens on healthy cells, but whenever it comes across a very disease-like cell, it immediately destroys it, kills it, and afterward it displays the antigen over its surface, the cell membrane's surface. So the other immune cells can get activated and do their job, which is to destroy the germ. There are so many types of forces because immune system is really diverse. Example, let's take the macrophages, which whenever it locks into the antigen of the germ, it immediately swallows it up and encloses it in a bubble and adds some acid to it so it digests it. Immediately it vomits out all the remains. Disgustingly gross. Next is the T cells, which are known for making factories of antibodies. These antibodies are like missiles which are targeted to get towards the antigen of the germ. After it is locked towards the germ, other forces come in and destroy the ones which has the antibodies on it. And some other groups of the immune cells are used to record the information about how the pathogen is spread and how does it get defeated by our immune cells. So this is how the immune cells defend against pathogens. But you know about vaccines, it is like training them like a drill test for a fire alarm, and even like a mock test towards the final exam. There are different types of vaccines. First is the live attenuated vaccines. It is using viruses to say like pathogens, but weakened style of those. They're very weak because they're almost like killed due to heat and radiation. So the real advantage of all of these vaccines is because it's weakened or killed, because they don't multiply inside the body. It may become an infection instead of a vaccine. Next is the inactivated vaccine, where it uses kill germs. Example is the COVID-19 vaccines, which is called the Covaxin. Next is the toxoids. It uses some type of toxins, which is emitted by bacteria. It uses weakened versions of these toxins called toxoids. Next is the subunit vaccine, it is known for its subunit or a part of the pathogen. Example of the coronavirus, where it uses the protein spike, which acts like the antigen to an immune cell. So the protein spike is injected into the body, but let alone the protein spike cannot immediately alarm the immune system. So along with it, another ingredient is added, which is the adjuvant. It is a sort of like an alarm to the immune system, so it can immediately recognize the protein spikes and kill them. Next is the mRNA vaccine. You know the mRNA, it's half part of the DNA, known as the messenger RNA. So if whenever it's injected into the cell, it hijacks the cell to create and read out the instructions written on the RNA and create the protein spikes which are displayed over the cell membrane. So the immune cells may recognize it as the COVID-19 and immediately kill the cell. The mRNA is encovered in a sort of like a thin layer called the lipid nanomolecules. There's a small disadvantage of this mRNA vaccine because it can be only used because of lower temperatures and should be transported in lower temperatures as well. Last, we finally go towards the viral vector vaccines. It is encoded in a DNA, mostly it's a DNA or an RNA, encoded in a very safe virus cell, which can be of any type of shell, like a cold flu virus. Imagine that this viral vector vaccine is a sort of like car. The virus shell is like a car, and inside the engine is the DNA or the RNA. So we can open the shell and take away the RNA or the engine and put a modified engine into it and send it to our own secret missions. So the modified RNA is, of course, the ones created to create the protein spikes. It's the same as the mRNA, but there are two reasons why it's more efficient. One, because it's covered in a very hard shell of the virus, so it doesn't break apart. Next is that it can be stored in different temperatures and it can be transported to locations with different temperatures. So don't forget to be vaccinated as much as possible. So whenever you get the time or you get the chance to get vaccinated, don't forget to be vaccinated. So it can protect you from many types of illnesses. Okay friends, bye-bye. See you next topic next time. Stay tuned for the next video, and if you love the content that I'm providing, please do subscribe because it can help me create more and more videos. And do click on the like button if you like my video. Bye-bye.